Hi everyone, I'm Pat Prokop out here in the Dahlia version of the Heavenly Backyard Garden. And I got some cloud cover across the region today, and the last several days have been cloudy. But I had a couple days last week and about a week and a half ago where I was shooting on a target, actually two different targets. I was shooting on M16, that's the Eagle Nebula that contains the pillars of creation. And I was also shooting M27, that's the Dumbbell Nebula. And I was shooting that on the Celestron 11-inch using the 2-pec camera that has a super wide field of view with that very large sensor that it has and a very large pixel size of 5.97. So I'm able to get some great views with the Celestron at f10 with this camera and the StarSense Auto Guider all working together. I was getting some 3 to 5 minute subframes with these targets. Now, since then, Pixinsight has come up with an update to their operating system and their software, and it's now 19.2.3. And within that, there was a new little tool in the batch programming, and it's called Fast Batch Preprocessing, as opposed to Weighted Batch Preprocessing. Those are the systems you use to stack inside of Pixinsight. Now, there's also a very favorite, and I don't know if it's famous, but it's a very favorite stacking program called Deep Sky Stacker. And so I'm going to compare the three. Which one goes faster, which one goes slower, or which one is the fastest, and which one does the better job. And I think that's the bottom line. Which one does the better job? So I'm going to compare that with M16 and M27 and see what the difference are and take a look at some of these. Also, a quick tip on loading Pixinsight if you have a graphics card on your computer. You don't want to lose the effect of CUDA that rapidly decreases that processing time or speeds up your graphics system tremendously. You don't want to lose that, and you will unless you follow a couple steps. So let's go upstairs where it's less humid and take a look at some of these images. I don't know if you can see this or not. I'm just standing out here. I'm not doing any work. I am sweating. It is so humid out here this afternoon, which is a typical Savannah afternoon in the summertime. But yeah, I'm wet. I'm gonna have to take this shirt off because it is, when I get inside, it is soaking wet right now. But anyway, I just want to let you know.
Now, first of all, if you have a graphics card on your system and you have the CUDA on it, you don't want to lose that availability to accelerate your graphics card. So before upgrading to the latest version of Pixinsight, what I do is I go into my main directory folder where all the files are. Usually it's a C drive, and then go over into Program Files, click on that, and then go down to Pixinsight, which is down here, right there, and then in the Pixinsight file, go to the bin folder right here, and then way down on bin, you'll see TensorFlows there. Now this is I already did it, but this is the TensorFlow that comes with the package, upgrade package. Now this is the TensorFlow here that comes with CUDA. Now when you upgrade the Pixinsight, it will overwrite this DLL file. So what you want to do is copy this file somewhere and then save it. Just simply right mouse click and then hit copy and then save it someplace else for the time being, or just hope you're lucky and it'll stay in memory. And then upgrade your Pixinsight to the latest version, and then go back into this file, and you'll see that this TensorFlow, which has only about 213 megabytes, almost 214 megabytes of data, you want to rename that. And I always just rename it to TensorFlow.BAK. And then that'll leave you open for TensorFlow.DLL to be placed back in. Just simply paste it back into the system so you'll have the TensorFlow from the CUDA. And that way everything will work just as fine as it did before. All right, now let's go into Pixinsight itself. All right, now that we're in Pixinsight, we have everything updated to the latest version. And in this case, what is it? It's version about Pixinsight 1.8.9-3. That's the latest version right there. Okay, so let's go into this place called script, and then in batch processing, and this is how you stack in Pixinsight. Well, one of the ways, this is the way I do it. You have the weighted batch pre-processing, which is the typical system, and this works very well, except it takes a long time for it to work. And then you have this new fast batch pre-processing. So we're going to compare the two in this video this afternoon, or this evening, or this morning, whenever you're watching it. Anyway, it takes a little bit of a moment for this to load in the batch program, as you can see right there. You have your standard page here, and you want to go into your lights. First of all, let's load in some lights. Let's load in another file here. Let's load in M27. I want to do M27. M27, I want to use the quad. I used the ultimate, the quad, and the enhanced, but I was more impressed with the quad, and that'll be fine for this example here. And here are the files that I received and checked. These already been checked to see if they're good or bad, naughty or nice. All right, the next thing I want to do is add some darks. These are my dark files. I'm going to add those right there. Now, I didn't take any flats, but if you take flats, you do the same thing. You add your flats here. If you have dark flats, you add them to the darks, and Pixinsight will know which ones to use when it does the calibration. And you see there's nothing there to do. So let's execute this. I got it over into the test folder here. I'm going to hit run and let it rip, and I'm going to hit continue, and we'll go from there. So this is going to take about, I think, in the ballpark of 10 minutes versus an hour and a half. I mean, it's still long, but it's not quite as long. All right, and it's done, and it only took 5 minutes and 36 seconds. Well, you know, that part is nice, but the bottom line is, what do the images look like? So let's take a look. First of all, let's take a look at some of the other examples on the weighted batch pre-processing program here. This is with everything going, supposedly the best, the weighted batch pre-processing, same products and so forth. Actually, I did add the enhanced and the quads and the ultimate all together, but still, it took 1 hour and 33 minutes to do this one here. This one here, this was just with the with no flats or anything, and it took an hour and 1 minute. And this one here, this was the fast, as we just saw, with the all three together, the enhanced, the quad, the ultimate, and just the light frames. That took 9 minutes and 10 seconds for the fast batch pre-processing. What about Deep Sky Stacker? There it is with Deep Sky Stacker, and look at this, 1 minute and 34 seconds. Yeah, all right, let's take a look at the products and see the examples and how they look. All right, here's the output from all four of the situations. We have the weighted batch pre-processing, we have the, which is right over here, we have the fast version of that, the FBPP, and then we have the WBPP fast option on that one, and then here we have Deep Sky Stackers. Now, the next thing I want to do is just normalize all these. Let's do a gradient correction and a blur exterminator on all four of these images, and to do that equally, I'm going to open up a image container. All right, to do that, just put your mouse on an empty area of the canvas of the Pixinsight, right mouse button click and hit image container, and this will open up the image container, and then just take the image name right here and drag it and drop it into the container itself. Now this one here I'm going to have to move a little bit, and then drop, and then drop, and then grab, drag, and drop. All right, now the next thing you want to do is this little arrow down here is drag this into the empty space of the container, or of the canvas of Pixinsight, and drop it right there, and then you can just close this out right here. So now you have all 4 of your images inside that image container ready to be executed. So first thing I want to do is go over and do a gradient correction. So I got to get back over here where I have them all set up. So let's go to gradient correction, which is right here, and just drag this and drop it into the image container. And that will start correcting all 4 images exactly the same way. So everything is going to be, the same. All right, all done. Now, it doesn't seem like there's much of a difference yet. All right, let's zoom in though and take a look. So we zoom in. Let's take a look. Well, you can see some of the outer gas shells showing up over here. Let's take a look at. All right, I'm seeing a double star here. Got a domino effect of stars here. This is on the full weighted batch pre-processing script, which took 1.5 hours to do. All right, let's set these all on the same level now. Let's just copy this, take this and drag it and drop it over the title here. And this is the fast batch processing of the same image. And you notice, well, first of all, the background, it picked up a lot of these hot pixels, where the WBPP knocked out the dark or the hot pixels. So we have no hot pixels here, but I'm still showing the hot pixels here. The stars, yeah, there you can see there. Now, this star here, a little bit more blurred over here. You can see other conditions here. The star here, these two look like are almost merging together, and over here there's definitely 2 different stars, as you can see right here. What about the fast option in the weighted batch processing? Let's take a look at that. And yeah, it cleared it up right there. It looks pretty good versus that over here. This double star here, it's a little bit blurry over here. And what about Deep Sky Stacker? Let's do that one too, and see if it brought it out. See how well Deep Sky Stacker did. And there it is right there. It did it. Brought it out. And then need to bring this up just a little bit. Yeah. All right. So yeah, a lot grainy in the fast, but in the weighted, it did real well. The fast version of the weighted did fairly well, even though I think this one's a little bit cleaner, it seems like, in the background. And Deep Sky Stacker, looks really good, comparable to the fast option in the weighted. Of course, this took over 1 hour, and this took 1.5 minutes, or almost less than 2 minutes. So you can see that right there. All right, let's look at another example. So let's take a look at the Eagle Nebula M16. Also within that nebula is the famous Pillars of Creation. And this is the weighted batch processing right over here. And this is the fast processing over here. And this one here is the Deep Sky Stacker. So let's take a look at this one. Just zoom in a little bit on this. And let's just compare these with the Pillar of Creation with the other two. Come on, get off my screen. We got this one over here, and right over here. Let's just do that, and we can compare. And at first, it looks pretty good. Even in the fast batch processing, it was pretty good. pretty good. And the Deep Sky Stacker, all very good. All three look pretty good. But we need to zoom in a little bit more and see if we can find any more detail. And what I want to show you is, well, basically it's the extreme. Let's look way in close over here to the left of the pillar, and just bring it out over here. Is this one here? This one here. I can minimize this and just bring this one here. All right, star in question is this one right here. It looks like a snowman, kind of tipped over a little bit. But anyway, you have the double star right here, and then you got this star up to the upper left and this star to the lower right. This is in the weighted batch pre-processing. Over here in the fast, you don't see that star over here. You can barely, I don't even see a scar. It's right there. In Pixinsight, that's in Pixinsight. In Deep Sky Stacker, it's just barely showing up right there. But it's very vivid, it's quite vivid compared to these two. You can see it did show up in the weighted batch pre-processing system. It takes longer, but it brings out more details. Now, you know, if you're nitpicking, I mean, that's really in tight. I mean, bringing it back out, you can barely see the difference from a distance right there. Again, the same thing with Deep Sky Stacker. So all in all, these programs all work well depending on what you want. If you really want details, you need to go with the weighted batch pre-processing script. If you just wanted to get fast, you can use the fast. And if you have Deep Sky Stacker, well, that works pretty good too. It's a blend between the two. DSS works very well for a quick look, but if you really want to get the fine details, I would go with the weighted batch pre-processing script. All right. I'm in my air-conditioned office right now, yeah, let's go back outside.
Well, I got to tell you, I was very impressed with Deep Sky Stacker. It did a great job at very low speed. It took a very short time to process, but you know that weighted batch pre-processing did bring out more details, and that's the final line. If you want the finest images, you want to use the finest software package that you can find. And right now, it still seems like the weighted batch pre-processing, the WBPP, does the better job, even though it does take a long time. If you have that time to have and to use, go ahead and take it. But if you just want a fast processing system, go ahead and use the fast batch processing, or just simply Deep Sky Stacker. That'll work all the time. Well, the garden is looking great right now. There's the 11-inch telescope over there, the Celestron 11-inch. Undercover, the sky is still cloudy. It got more rain in the forecast. And there's the Orion Eon 130 millimeter refractor. I just moved that a little bit further toward the west by about 5 feet to help cut down on the angle of these trees up here. See if I can get a better view of the southeastern sky, where a lot of these targets are right now, or particularly M16, M17, M8, M20. All those are low in the southern sky, so you need a good view of the southern sky. Anyway, if you like this, what is this thing? Anyway, if you like this video, please hit the like button. Also, if you have any comments, leave your comments below. And if you'd like to support my channel, I would greatly appreciate that as well. There's all different ways to support my channel. There's one right there. Buy me a coffee. I love my coffee. Anyway, we're coming into the time of the year where the nebulae are just all over the sky right now, and coming up in the eastern sky, southeastern sky, and then high in the east and high in the south by midnight and shortly thereafter. So If the sky clears off and behaves, we will be able to get some great shots of these targets. And with the new software out there in Pixinsight, the enhancements, you got the gradient removal tools now, and the Russell Croman's great tools to use, the blur exterminator, the star exterminator, the noise exterminator, and also the gradient removal tools. All these are making it better and better to get even better images from basically some of the same images we shot several years ago. If we take some of those and reprocess them with this new software, it's amazing how much better they will look and do look. So keep that in mind. But remember, you know, the sky is filled with majestic wonders, and they're all in the sky near you, in your own backyard. So look up and get your telescopes ready and start taking images of the heavenly skies. So unless you need rain, clear skies, everyone.